yet to settle on a real, a cohesive message and legislative strategy.
And Kevin, just very quickly, you spent a lot of time trying to make Republicans appeal to voters in the suburbs. Is this something that suburban voters, suburban women would buy?
Well, look, we have to look to the 2022 midterms to see how important this issue was for many of those suburban swing voters who care about this issue. I think what they want to see is clarity. What they want, a lot of those voters want to see is somebody that has a position that's on their side. Increasingly, we're seeing with the polling that Republicans are sort of at odds with many of these voters on that issue, and many of these voters, independents, even Republican-leaning independents, are starting to align themselves with Democrats. So it's certainly an issue in those suburban swing areas.
And Maria, this was an interview Donald Trump did in his own voice where he was talking about a ban after 15 weeks, but I could have seen it being a Democratic press release almost.
Yeah, absolutely. And what was interesting about what Donald Trump was saying is, you know, he's always very vague when he talks about what he is trying to land on in terms of policy. He talked about, well, he's hearing from people that this is where they're landing on 15 weeks. What people? Certainly not women. Certainly not the majority of Americans who agree that this is a personal decision that should be in the hands of women, their families, and their doctors, and that's it. But maybe he doesn't consider women people either. And so I think that this will continue to be political kryptonite for the Republican Party, who doesn't understand that this is not an issue that they should be deciding. It should be an issue that is private, that should be had with women and with their liberties and their freedoms. And it's going to give Democrats the ability to continue making the stark contrast between Joe Biden and the Democrats, and frankly, a lot of independents and Republicans, too, who agree with us that this is something that should be left in the hands of women. Every woman's position and circumstance is different, and it should not be legislated by men.